for those here to be part of the proceedings this evening, for our directors and for all of our city staff, especially as we look at Christy Holland being recognized tonight as one of our great employees that serves here in Branson. Father, we love you, praise you in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Ted. Madam Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Benton.
Here.
Denham. Here. Cooper.
Here.
Milton.
Here.
Rodriguez.
Here.
Howden. LeBlanc.
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. We'll start the meeting off tonight with Alderman Denham. Would you present the Employee of the Month Award, please?
I get the privilege to make this presentation tonight. Can you hear me now? Yeah. Okay. On behalf of the Mayor, Board of Aldermen, City Administrator, and City staff, it's my honor to announce Utilities Office Assistant Christy Holland as the City of Branson's January 2023 Service and Excellence Employee of the Month. This award recognizes employees who have gone above and beyond and whose performance exemplifies the City of Branson's values. Christy was nominated for her willingness to help a completely different department within the city when they needed extra help. She did double duty, covering her own position in the Utilities Department while helping the Planning and Development Department while they were looking to fill a vacant position. Not only did she train to learn new software, often working after hours, but also took initiative to train the new employee once hired as well. She did all this with a positive can-do attitude and showed great teamwork and leadership. Congratulations and keep up the good work, Christy.
Congratulations, Christy. This is the public comment section of our meeting. Madam Clerk, do we have any speakers this evening?
Yes, Your Honor, we do. Our first speaker is Dr. Robert Olson, MD, speaking on community petition Saving Our Babies. Address is 3873 East Washita, Springfield, Missouri.
Hello, Mayor. Good to see you guys. Good to see you all again. Gonna make it short and sweet, okay? It's just an informational thing. There's a group of us that have been working for 2 years, and we have a website called myfreedoctor.com. Can you believe that? myfreedoctor.com. And we've been working to help people that have been afflicted by the virus. But we made the decision to go forward and try to help people that have been injured by the vax. There's growing numbers of people who have been injured by the vax. The only other thing I'd like to point out to you before I leave is this guy here. He's an American hero.
Into the mic, please.
He's an American hero. His name is Mark Pittman, federal judge, Fort Worth. He made the decision against the FDA and Pfizer and in favor of my little group. And Pfizer was forced to turn over 455,000 pages. And as I put on your card, the vaccine is poison. No one should take another dose of it. I want you all to be on notice. And April of 2022 is when we knew for sure it was poison. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you,
Our
Dr.
website
Olson.
is here, the Public Health Medical Professionals for Transparency.org. You can look up all the legal and all the documents that were presented by Pfizer, and it is poison. Nobody should take it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Richie Zaitz, speaking on public health, 12692 Highway 14 West.
Rachie, how are you?
That white jumpsuit is very inspirational.
What?
The white jumpsuit.
Okay. Well, we got elections coming up around here, huh? Yeah. Well, I'm not really sure where I'm going to stand on even as a non-resident here. You know, I do have 2 businesses in this city. The issue that I'm concerned about, and has always been the same, is to save women, and we're trying to inform them not to get the jab while they're pregnant or to jab their babies. And this issue's been very close to me. I've lost friends. I've seen them. My own family, my daughter, who was the epitome of wonderful health, all of a sudden we find the women are not having their periods, and they're having issues such as cancer on their ovaries. I mean, these are real things. This isn't some kind of a issue where we're just up here talking because we like to talk. If one person can be saved from death, or one baby can be saved from death, or the issues that occur from this lethal injection that we're so concerned about. And I would mention that the board that's up here and the people that we supported initially, not at the time when the city was being shut down, but the other issues, and not going to have mandates forcing people to take lethal injections in their bodies, which is really, we have a campaign. We're trying to work on the side of helping those that have gotten inoculated with poisons. We're not just here to make a statement. That's ridiculous. My heart and my passion, what I feel is if I can just save one baby, one mother from having a miscarriage, one person in a family that won't disappear because of complications due to this ridiculous installation of poison in our society, then we've accomplished our goal. It's not about, and really, we're all servants in some capacity when we really look at it. Y'all are here to serve the public. I serve Jesus every day of my life because he's my Savior and he keeps me going. And I'm motivated by that to help others to find that peace inside, because we're all going to see him at the end of this movie that we're in as actors in the show. Every one of us is just a performer when you really get down to it. So I pray that the Lord continue to watch over our city. This is holy ground, the Ozarks, the mighty fortress, the Shepherd of the Hills area. This is sacred ground, and we have to realize that. And we want to keep it pure. We don't want to contaminate it. So any politician that is on that campaign, anyone that wants to come from that format, I will support. I will physically go out and help support, just like I was here when we were all up and down the road here protesting against the lockdown. My love and appreciation go out to all of you, okay?
Thank you, Richie.
Our next speaker is Ron Inch, speaking on memory items, 300 Glory Road, Branson, Missouri.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. Nice to meet you. I'm going to read this to keep it short, but I would like to thank each of you profusely for your time and your financial commitment, the time you're away from your families and businesses to work, making this a better place to live on my behalf, and to simplify, as you've said, Mr. Mayor, life in this city for its citizens and its businesses. You are appreciated, and we thank you. I have a short proposal to share, but especially our Ward 3 Aldermen, Ruth and Dr. Ralph, thank you for your service. My name is Ron Inch. I'm a resident of Branson for 7 years. I'm retired from the airline industry, from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. They call it the Metroplex. But I've talked to people in New York and DC, and they call it the Jethroplex. They don't care much for us, I guess. As some of you, I do not consider myself an out front or public person. However, that has changed since the planned scamdemic of 2020. I take personal responsibility for my health with my doctor's help. As we will see real soon, real science and real studies coming out this year, the fake news media and the others had an agenda that instilled fear, ignorance, misinformation, and devastation to our communities and businesses. And a select few gained hugely financially at our expense. Any scientific, fact-based, reasonable voices were shut down, doctors were threatened, and censored. Each of us knows the Pledge of Allegiance by heart. We said it today. I think everybody in here knows it perfectly. Because we said it in school every day. To me, I believed it as a kid, but I never really acted on it or took it to heart. I just wanted to get through school and get out. But as I've gotten older, I do not take for granted its words, nor the millions that have died to enforce it. Mr. Mayor, we're less familiar with two paragraphs in your handout there, our Declaration and the Constitution preamble. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union. And we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. These are the heart and soul of our freedom from British tyranny, and tyranny from within is attacking our God-given freedoms today more than ever. Tyrants hate freedom, and our founders knew what would be in the hearts of future men in government, self-driven, one-world-minded, political men in pursuit of power and fame and money. This is why our Constitution puts such drastic and severe limits on government. Our leaders should be servant to the people, as Mr. Mayor exemplified here, and I appreciate it, not tyrants lording over them. So my proposal, Mr. Mayor, and the city of Branson, is put these two paragraphs on the walls of this auditorium, that one or the other also be recited at meetings occasionally, that we have these words foremost in our hearts and minds, that we do not stumble in leadership as was done in our community in 2020. Oh, these power-hungry men, they're not resting, they're not sitting back, they're just reloading. Nor will they stop until their one-world government is in place. There will be even greater attacks on our rights and freedoms in the next few years. A disease, a germ, something nuclear, we don't know. Will we honor these words and freedoms, or will we fall back to government control and approval over everything we do,
30 seconds.
everything we say, and everything we own? I thank you, sir, and ladies and gentlemen, for your time to listen, and I thank God for the freedom of speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. I said thank you, Ron. Appreciate you.
Our next speaker is Gary Groman, speaking on full transparency and fairness in conducting board and commission meetings. Address is 350 South Wildwood Drive, Branson, Missouri.
Felt pretty good when I walked in here, but after listening to that last stuff, I think you're looking at a dead man walking. And I can assure you one thing, if it's nuclear, you'll know about it. Full transparency and fairness in conducting board and commission meetings. And this is not directed necessarily at this board. It came up at another commission I was serving on, and it was discussed, and it's something that I think the board ought to address uniformly across the city. While any member of this board or any other city board or commission is conducting a public meeting, they owe a duty to those they serve to give 100% of their attention to the matters before them. That's difficult to do if they are reading their cell phones or texting others, regardless if it's about the issue being discussed or not. As an example, this board is considering whether or not to grant funds to conduct research on the sex life of the Ozark tsetse fly. The issue is motioned and seconded. The public is given a chance to speak. As the board is discussing the issue, one or more of you is either receive a text from someone outside the meeting or is monitoring social media or other comments while the matter is being discussed. How fair is it for a member of the city board or commission to use their cell phone during a meeting? At the very least, it is discourteous, but even worse, it's simply not fair, and depending on who is involved with the text, might even be a violation of the law. I believe that although it may not be a technical violation of the law, members of the board communicating electronically, either actively or passively, with anyone outside the room regarding an issue under discussion is at a minimum violating the spirit of the law and certainly all process fairness. I believe in furtherance of full transparency and to avoid any misinterpretations regarding fairness, unless prohibited by law, all deliberations on city policy, resolutions, and laws by its boards and commissions need to be open and recorded. That cannot happen if there's any electronic communication between board members and anyone or thing outside the meeting and public process being discussed. I would ask this board to consider the adoption of rules regulating the use of cell phones or other electronic devices during the conduct of such meetings. In my opinion, at a minimum, the verbiage in these rules should, 1, prohibit the board or commission members from receiving or sending any electronic communications regarding any matter the board or commission is considering during its meeting. Prohibit the use of electronic communication devices by members of the board or commission for the purpose of reviewing or assessing information regarding matters not on the agenda for that board meeting and being discussed at the time of such communication. 3, except for the case of emergency and urgent family or business communications, board or commission members may not send or receive electronic communications of a personal nature during board or commission meetings. And that's just a suggestion, but it's something we might want to look at, particularly when we're talking about fairness and openness. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them for you.
Anybody? Thank you, Gary.
Our next speaker is Alex McCauley, speaking on simple solutions for current and pending local issues, 200 Box Elder Lane, Forsyth, Missouri.
Hi, I'm Alex McCauley, and sorry about that. My place of business is here in Branson, so every one of these that I can, I kind of come in to make my voice felt on issues I believe have a local impact. Now, I'm going to try to make this short. I've been maintaining, and I built a website called nomorejab.wordpress.com, and I attempt to put on that website the unvarnished truth about everything that happened since the beginning of the COVID-19 hostage crisis. Now, this is the thing. People, and I'm addressing the board and the people watching, people keep on asking me, what can I do about it? The fact is, we the people have a patriotic duty to protect our republic. The COVID-19 hostage crisis, one of the biggest terror attacks we've experienced, was launched to do irreparable damage to our republic. And we do this by damaging our personnel, our militia, and we do this compromises our security as a nation. The thing is, we as a people are obligated to protect our republic by giving those who would tell us to do damage to ourselves a good, healthy dose of vitamin N or vitamin No. And the thing is, you did an excellent job with masking. That was damaging us. We need to do the same thing with jabs that have been proven to not only do damage inside, but they also have proven to transfer to other people when you're freshly injected. Now, the way we can do this is to ask politely for the people doing inoculating to give back their stores of the serum. And if they don't, if they keep on injecting people with material that's killing them, that we do what, or you guys do what we elected you to do, and what we gave you the responsibility to of licensing, business licensing for, to protect our rights, right to life, to liberty, and to property. If a business owner is interfering with any of those rights, we terminate their business license. We do not allow them to set up shop in our town. And we don't allow them to set up shop in the county. But this is a town meeting. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you, Alex.
Our next speaker is Deanna Slatton, speaking on public utilities, 187 Lone Pine, Branson.
Okay, today I came here to kind of add to a little bit of what they're talking about. Only thing is, I'm proposing a bill, and I want to make Branson 5G wireless null and void. So this is why I have family right now in the hospital that's taking PCR test. The PCR test is dangerous, not only the jab, just so you know. Not only that, but so is 5G. It is a military-grade weapon. It is used to control. What they plan on doing, these elites, is sectioning off cities. They're going to section it, then they're going to give you permits to allow you to visit your mom 100 times a year, providing you want to see her 100 times. You get to leave 100 times. So that means mom, aunt, uncle, nieces, nephews. All of this is to control everyone. So I'm here to stand for the people and tell you that I won't put up with this crap. I'm here to fight. I'm fighting for my family and my future for my children. And if none of you are going to be out there to help me, then I guess I'll do it alone. But I see I've got a few standing here. So my thing is with you guys, I want a bill proposed, and I want you to vote on it to make it null and void in Branson. And then I'm going for the county and the sheriff. And I'm going for the prosecuting attorney because none of them will return my phone calls when I'm telling them there's a national security threat to our country. That's borderlining treason, if you ask me. So, there's Nuremberg trials. That is coming, international. And anybody that has committed treason against the people is going to be put on trial. And I'm going to stand there to make sure it happens. So that's my plea for the city of Branson, is to stop it, because 5G is coronavirus. It is. That's all I got to say, y'all.
Thank you, Diana.
That's all of our speakers this evening.
So next is the consent agenda. Are there any items that any member of the audience would like to see brought down from the consent agenda to ask questions or to comment? Any items from the board? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, would you please read the consent agenda items?
Your Honor, the items on the consent agenda are as follows. Approval of the Board of Aldermen minutes for the December 13th, 2022 study session, December 13th, 2022 regular meeting. Acknowledge receipt of Finance Committee minutes for the October 27th, 2022 regular meeting. Final reading of Bill Number 6254, an ordinance approving an agreement JCI Industries LLC for the 2023 lift station pump replacement, startup, and testing, and authorizing the mayor to execute the agreement. Your Honor, that concludes the reading of the consent agenda. The floor is open for a motion approving all items on the consent agenda.
We have a motion and a second. Anybody in the audience wishing to discuss this? Any members of the board? Lisa? Hearing none, let's vote. We take a verbal from Chuck while we're,
Yes, please.
oh,
Thank you. That motion carries 6-0. I'm sorry, 5-0.
thank you.
Your Honor, the next item is a resolution authorizing city staff to solicit proposals for a feasibility study for the expansion of the Branson Convention Center. The floor is open for a motion adopting the resolution.
We have a motion and a second, and we'll get a staff report from Kathy.
Thank you, Mayor. Pretty self-explanatory. You all had expressed an interest for us to begin conversations and the process of going out for a feasibility study to examine the merits of a potential expansion of the convention center. This authorization of this resolution would give us the direction to proceed.
Any questions, comments from the audience? Questions, comments from the board? Ralph, did you have something?
Well, I think it's a definite needed thing, simply because of the success of the convention center that we do have. You know, with the management company we have, you know, it's been shared with all of us that we're probably one of the most successful convention centers in their portfolio. And, you know, with that, it just opens Branson up to be able to host bigger events. The convention center can host bigger events, bring more people in. We know what that does for every small business in our community, and we know what it does for the, you know, the tax base in our community. And we can do all of Kendall's capital improvements then. So, yeah.
Thank you. Any other aldermen?
I fully support the study, and can you explain exactly how that you go out and take bids from, or for companies to come?
And do the feasibility study, correct?
Right. Yeah, RFP, okay. No, absolutely. I would love to see this move forward and see what we can do to make that bigger and better.
Any other comments?
Well, you know, we saw Sam brought the numbers a month or two ago and showed, you know, how well the convention center's doing. And I experienced it firsthand. I was down at the landing last Friday having lunch, and, you know, for January, you know, a random Friday in January, it was cold out. I could not believe the number of people walking around the landing, eating. I was honestly blown away. And so I think that obviously just one small snapshot of the impact you guys are having, because as I understood it, there was a big convention going on last weekend, and that was bringing all those people down there. So again, that was just one small little instance of where I saw what you told us, on paper, actually in action, and I 100% support this.
Sam and team, thank you so very much for what you're doing for this community. I'm excited that we're going to move forward with this. I mean, I think we have the support here. We haven't voted.
I too am very supportive. We've seen the numbers. We see the economic impact to our community from our convention center. It's now, it's still a loss leader, but it's a small loss leader. And with the expansion, it'll just help every business and our revenues in our town. So with that, let's vote.
That motion carried 5-0. Your Honor, the next item is the first reading of Bill Number 6257, an ordinance approving the amendment and renewal of contract for management services with ASM Global for the operation, marketing, and promotion of the Branson Convention Center, and authorizing the mayor to execute the contract. The floor is open for a motion to approve the first reading of Bill Number 6257.
We have a motion and a second. Anybody in the audience wishing to speak to this? Any members of the board? Kathy?
Well, did you want me to do the staff report?
Oh, shoot, I've already
It's up to
started
you.
off.
We can keep rolling like this all night, Mayor.
See, we have quicker meetings with no staff report.
It's pretty self-explanatory again, but I think your prior comments were a fabulous segue into this next topic. So this is the exercise of the first of two extension agreements that were part of the original contract with the company on management services to the convention center. And given all the praise that was just heaped upon them, I would be very hopeful that you all would support the endeavor. So thank you.
Thank you. So with the staff report, are there now any questions from the audience? Questions, comments from the board? Hearing none, let's vote.
That motion carried 5-0.
Thank you. Thank you, Sam.
That was an easy night for Sam, wasn't it?
Thank you, Sam. You deserve it. We're now at the report section of our meeting. Start off with Alderman Fenton.
Well, in the interest of seeing the mayor break Alderman Cooper's record for how quick a meeting can end, I'm rooting for you, Mayor. No, I'm kidding. I really don't have anything. Just a Happy New Year to everybody. It's good to be back. I'm looking forward to what's to come. So, thank you.
Ruth?
Happy New Year. I think we're starting off great. Looking forward to this new year and beating Clay's record.
In all fairness, I had 28 items, 15 double reads, and he finished 5 minutes earlier. So that's all I got to say.
Chuck?
Just want to wish everybody a Happy New Year.
Ralph?
I guess I'll echo the Happy New Year to everyone. God bless you all, and definitely look forward to 2023. I think we got some exciting things happening on every corner of our community. I mean, everything is looking good, and I really look at that traffic count that I get every Monday. It's like it kind of sets the tone for my week, because when I look at the traffic count, then I get those reports of where the tax revenue is, and they just ride the line, and I love that. And where before I looked at traffic's like, get out of my way, now I'm like, no. Tax dollars, tax dollars, tax dollars. So bless this community. Thank you so much for everything you guys have done for us. And thank staff and everyone for, all the hard work you guys did last year. And looks like you're going to have to buckle down, because we got a lot coming at you. And we're gonna do some really good things. So thank you all.
Thank you. Kathy?
Just one thing to all of you. I had sent you an email regarding dashboard reports I'd like to start sharing with you in the second quarter of 2023, so it'd be starting in March. During this segment of the Board of Aldermen meeting, I'd like to be able to share just some high-level metrics that we're measuring that are of most value to the public, things that they're most interested in. So my appeal is for you all to consider topics that you are most interested in, things you hear from your constituents on. And as always, my invitation to the public to reach out to me via email on different metrics you would like to see us report out on quarterly. So I look forward to hearing the response from all of you, and we look forward to more transparency and accountability. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. I'd like to see a report on how our fire department's coming along and how our police department's coming along, the structures. Chop, chop.
We'll get those on there.
It saddens me to say that I was notified just before this meeting started that Les Brown passed away.
Oh.
Yeah. So I know it'll sadden the hearts of many in our community. Hearts and prayers go out to Les's family and friends. I lost another good one. I also would like to echo the Happy New Year. I haven't seen you guys for a year now. I too am looking forward to a great year coming up. There's much to do and you're in good hands. So with that, I will entertain a motion. Oops, I need to do this in order. Motion to go in executive session.
Mr. Mayor, I move to go into closed executive session pursuant to 610.021.3 RSMO for personnel.
We have a motion and a second. Questions from the audience? Questions from the board? Let's vote.
That motion carried 5-0.
Thank you. I'll now entertain a motion to adjourn. Nobody wants to, nobody wants to adjourn? It's two. Oh. We have a motion and a second. Let's vote.
And that motion carried 5-0.
Great. Thank you all very much. Happy New Year.